What stood out about Tomlin to you today, Bat Coney and Mongoose?
I think some of the questions were more entertaining than the answers. I think Tomlin is in it's December mode. I'm keeping it as brief and basic as I possibly can. And we just want to get through this 30-minute endeavor so that I can get back to watching film and apparently not even being aware that Phillip Rivers could be returning to the NFL, which I guess I believe him because
I do believe him, yeah.
He's so laser focused. However, though, there is a TV that you walk past every morning when you get to the Steelers facility, but maybe he just makes a left turn right up the stairs and doesn't even look at what's being discussed on First Take or FS1 or NFL Network or whatever they have on there when he gets there.
And fellas, it is official. According to Adam Schefter, the Colts are signing 44-year-old Phillip Rivers to their practice squad. How is this going to work?
That is incredible, Brian.
Can 44-year-old Phillip Rivers still play, Brian? This is insane.
I have no idea, but Steve Weish from, I think, NFL Network had an interesting tweet that I read before I fell asleep last night at halftime of the Eagles-Chargers game that apparently something with Hall of Fame voting guidelines, his clock would reset if he returns to their active roster, but it doesn't if he's only on the practice squad. So, I mean, if you can only be elevated 3 times and there are 4 games left, so, I mean, something would have to give there, but maybe that means he's not going to play this week, and then he gets elevated for the last 3, and then he does the Miles Jack Eric Rowe and never actually leaves the practice squad, but stays with them in the playoffs should they make it.
So Rivers could technically play 3 games, being called up from the practice squad, and still go into the Hall of Fame next year or whenever, and it wouldn't matter.
I think so. I think that is what Steve Weish reported. So that is just one fascinating wrinkle to an obviously fascinating development. It's funny because how many times did you or me or Joe or Pony or Muller come on the station and say, Ben looks good, I think he could still play. Steelers, give him a call. And that is exactly what is going on with Indy and Phil Rivers.
And that is going to be a sight, man. If it sounds like he will, unless he totally flops, he's going to be their starter.
26 modern era semifinalists right now for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He really could get into the Hall of Fame while playing in the NFL just a couple of months earlier.
This is incrinculant. For one night only, Wednesday, December 17th, our Odyssey Pittsburgh stations, The Fan, 100.1 FM, AM 1020 KDK, 100.7 The Star, Whammo 107.3, and Y108 will be flipping the turntables, turning Mike's Beer Bar into the biggest Christmas karaoke spot on the North Shore. Our hosts, local celebrities, take the mic for celebrity karaoke. No admission. Bring canned food donations to support North Hills Cares. Details at 937thefan.com. Partly cloudy today, high of 34. AJ Burnett, low of Nick Bonino, 13. Fan weather brought to you by Myers Law Group, Pittsburgh's choice for affordable legal solutions. Another minute or two with the Mongoose. He did pipe up a little bit, Tomlin did. At least, the tenor of the news conference got a little more interesting when he was asked about, I think Will Graves said, taking bullets for the team. That's the way DK Metcalf put it after the game. And was it Ashley Lyotis who followed up on that? Here's a little back and forth there, Brian.
One of those bullets was at the Bills game, Dan's calling for your job. Did you feel like you were in the hot seat at all last week?
Man, I've been in the hot seat for 19 years.
Did you feel like you had something to prove to the fans at all?
I always feel like I got something to prove, not necessarily to anyone in particular, but that's just the spirit in which I go about what I do professionally.
Thoughts?
And then there was another follow-up about what he expects Monday night, which I thought was a good one. And he said he expects people to show up and basically be a good crowd, I guess. So, yeah, that's why I said when you first brought me on here that I thought the questions were better than sort of the run-of-the-mill Tomlin answers. He's said variants of these over the years. I think it was more so in years past after playoff debacles when we asked him about his job security, and he said he always feels like he's coaching for his job because that's the standard, blah, blah, blah. And I think that's a good way to handle these questions. As I said last week, you never have to worry about how Tomlin's going to respond to those types of questions. But in fairness, you could probably make the case that it's a lot easier to respond to those questions when you do feel like you have the utmost job security and your boss is on record as saying he only evaluates you and that he's glad you're his coach.